Meurk for creative transitions to sustainable futures, sorry.
Do I leap into it?
My apologies, Colin. Yes, please.
Kia ora koutou. I'm back here as usual. Maybe we could have the first slide. I've got a dozen, I think, that should just about do it. I'm representing Creative Transitions to Sustainable Futures, a Canterbury WEA supported group promoting, as the name implies. Next one. I wonder whether many of you have seen, oh no, hold on, backwards, back one, please. Yes. Anyone seen the movie Don't Look Up? It's kind of a sobering, satirical piece on denial about the state of the planet and the future, and whether this resonates with anyone. And you might say, this is far too big for the annual plan, but time is running out. Also, you don't have to believe in my prognosis or the remedies, but it's better to have the remedies in the back pocket, fit to go, rather than scrabbling around for untested answers when time's up. Next, please. I'm juggling this between COVID and half a dozen lectures to Lincoln and also to China this week, so excuse me if it seems to kind of go off the rails a little bit, but I'm doing my best here. If we look up for that moment from our busy business as usual routine, I think we can all see the world is anxious. They're all got their hands out expecting money to be put there to feed the expectations that we've been fed, and yet at the same time saying we've got to reduce taxes and rates and all the rest of it, somehow expecting that business as usual will continue. I would argue that we've got an unsustainable economic model. We've got climate that is potentially going to make most of the world uninhabitable. We've got a terrible war going on in Europe. Millions are likely to become want to become refugees, and what effect that would have on our expected economy. Next, please. And one wonders how we can pay for all of this with that high material expectation, with all of these demands and crises looming. It's slightly humorous, but it makes a clear point, I think. We have to reimagine the future. Next, please. I'm not going to dwell on some of the missed opportunities. You all know about the Christchurch 360 Trail, how it's taken 30 years, still bogged down. Great opportunities to have promoted and pushed the city to a particular demographic and world slow tourism, nor about my very deep regrets at the loss of heritage buildings. But right now, I'm also concerned about the way the city seems to be being hollowed out by decisions made in Wellington. Why aren't we putting our hands up to be a head office for a whole lot of these activities, to bring some TV studios back here to promote our place, and in Radio New Zealand? I know we have some correspondents here, light rail and all the rest of it. A young Indian engineer I know left our city for Wellington because government is pouring money into Wellington and Auckland. And I keep thinking, who gave the permission to abandon the Super South? Next, please. Yep. I know it sounds a bit like a broken record. I've heard people saying this to me for years. The trouble is you're ahead of your time, which is not much consolation when I see that comet hurtling towards us. I think now we need a bit of that innovative transition engineering and collaborative learning. We've got wonderful talent and facilities here in the city. We need to be like really pushing and promoting it and working together. Next, please. Next, please. I know that it takes a while to read all that. So this is the last slide of words. Promoting inclusiveness. And I know you all support these ideas, but you know, we need to put it on the ground. It often doesn't seem to be happening. To connect our nature, governance through co-design. You know, we've heard about all this rhetoric, TBL, quadruple bottom line, collaborative learning, co-design, etc. Share an idea. It means, you know, ecology needs to be in there, that holistic kind of convergence with Mataranga Māori and all those other bottom lines. And importantly, to create more citizen think tanks, like the Christchurch Biodiversity Partnership that was supposed to happen years ago and still hasn't, that embrace everyone with a dream, a crazy idea, harnessing the talent which exists here and was waiting to be used, but it's just too hard for busy people to get involved, and they're willing to do it for nothing, you know, together with our treaty partners, all those centres of higher learning. We need to, you know, have some exciting new kind of brainstorming. I mentioned Tony Moore's resilience portfolio, which I know he's got, but I never really hear too much about it. We need to showcase this more. We need to then start exporting these creative ideas. I know this happens to an extent, but you know, we really need to put some energy into it. And I guess one sort of personal, emotional thing is, you know, why aren't we bringing together all our amazing talent of art and music that we keep exporting to other places, generate, you know, frequent fusion rock concerts so that teenagers like me can dance and love everyone. And like you, I'm sure. You know, we've got this amazing talent, yet we seem to underplay it all the time. We've all got this amazing green city. We were one at the top of the pops in the City Nature Challenge that's just been held. We need to be relevant to youth, of course. And I know that there's bits of this going on, but it's not happening in a coherent way, in my view. And we need to attract a new generation of slow tourism, again, using our high technology, computerized aerofoil sailing ships that we could be producing in our engineering school, together with, you know, the CIAL and the city, to create a new form of much more engaging, slow tourism, where we are learning about each other's culture and learning, understanding different cultures around the world. Next, please. We need wise pilots that are plugged in, not smugged in, like the cartoon says. I often think cartoons are often the best way to deal with these things. You know, smug pilots, out of touch, yeah. But the problem is, it can't be just a popularity contest. A lot of the decisions that need to be made are not going to be that popular in the future, but they need to be evidence-based and based on transparent decision-making with all the best talent and skills that we've got and experience. Next, please. You will have seen this picture before, but it just shows, you know, we sometimes often hear we don't have a vision. Well, there is a vision. We've got a vision. It's a joined up vision, one that kind of connects with our nature. National park cities, you know, are being promoted. And I think this is just one element, one brand that we can use to push the city much more strongly. And finally, the next, please. And this is reflected also in people that want to be here. We have students coming from around the world. This is from Seattle, sort of promoting a bird sanctuary right in the heart of the city, alongside, you know, other nature opportunities in the middle of the city. I've got students coming from Florida in a month's time who are also want to be here. They're full of skills and talent and youthful enthusiasm. We need to provide the means and the reason for them to be here and to stay here. To celebrate our nature and our city for our layered history and identity. Thank you for that. Perhaps the one key message I'm sort of promoting here is developing these think tanks, really, and brains trusts, getting those conversations going with all of these able people in our city in some way that helps to generate a vibrant, amazing future city. Thank you.
Thank you. That's pretty much come to the end of the time. Has anyone got a quick question? But look, thank you for making the submission, Colin. I mean, it's something that we've continued to work on behind the scenes. Because I agree with you entirely that the whole focus on networks and building capacity and exchange of ideas, that's really the only way that we're going to be able to confront a reality that actually doesn't look very good unless we take action. So look, thank you very much for making a submission. It is not it is worthwhile, so thank you for caring, and thank you for sharing. There you go, poetry. So I'll move on to the next submission. So thank you, Colin.